What's going on, beautiful people? What's going on? Welcome to the Beneficial Black Man channel and welcome to Reading with Jam. I'm Jam, also known as Jamal Calpin. What's Reading with Jam? Reading with Jam is me, Jamal Calpin. I'm practicing my voiceover, acting abilities, skills while reading personal development content that I personally is going to read for myself and I find beneficial. And I want to share it with those, with y'all out there. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're protecting your mental, finding time for an emotional release valve, and continuing to strive to become beneficial. So we've been reading a book entitled I Don't Sexually Abuse Black Females by Dr. Walter McCray. And we're going to finish the book today. We're going to finish the book today. So it's 7 parts. Like I've been saying, the book is actually very, very short. So today's reading is actually going to be very, very short. But again, the whole purpose or the whole reason I felt it was important to read this book is because of a lot of the crazy stuff that's been happening recently in the Black community. More specifically, the allegations and things directed towards Sean P. Diddy Combs. That is just ridiculous. I don't know. There's no like light way to describe it. It's just ridiculous and disgusting and not acceptable in any case or any regard. So, I mean, I believe the allegations are true because people with money and people with power do a lot of crazy stuff. Anyways, the whole point, again, behind reading this particular book, I Don't S3xu4lly Black Females, is to help establish within our community and for our brothers the way that we should treat the sisters of our community. And I really honestly believe this book is a great way to help create a standard for us to follow. The book itself is directed towards Black men that are Christian, but I don't think like the principles and the things that he shares, I don't think they're limited to your faith. Whatever your faith is, these are moral standards and things that we can uphold as men, regardless of faith, regardless of belief. It's just something that can be helpful for our community. So let's wrap up this book. I don't even need to put 30 minutes on the clock because it's not that much left. It's really not that much left. So let's just get into it. I Don't S3xu4lly Black Females by Dr. Walter McCray. God is available to help. You have just read 7 practical principles that you can apply to the sexual area of your life. They are consecration, community, communication, control, conscience, confession, and covenant. As Black brothers who practice these virtues, we can strengthen our commitment to check personal abuse. Each of us can choose to prevent our own sexual immorality, misconduct, harassment, or assault of the women we influence and who lie within our sexual reach. By applying these biblical values and principles as Black Christian men, or just Black men in general, we can control ourselves from perpetrating immoral and illicit sexual behavior upon any woman in our life. Each of us can secure God's help and deliverance over sexual testing and temptations by claiming the potent promises in His Word. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and He will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, He will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. Consider an extended rendition of this verse. For no temptation, no trial regarded as enticing to sin, no matter how it comes or where it leads, has overtaken you and laid hold on you that is not common to man. That is, no temptation or trial has come to you that is beyond human resistance, and that is not adjusted and adapted and belonging to human experience, and such as man can bear. But God is faithful to His word and to His compassionate nature, and He can be trusted not to let you be tempted and tried and assayed beyond your ability and strength of resistance and power to endure. But with the temptation, He will always also provide the way out, the means of escape to a landing place, that you may be capable and strong and powerful to bear up under it patiently. God is always faithfully present to help a brother in resisting the temptation to abuse any female in his life. We can trust God's power and faithfulness to help us to become and remain sexually responsible and protective. God stands waiting to assist us as Black brothers in fulfilling His divine moral and cultural mandate for protecting sisters from abuse by Black males. In this spirit and for this cause, each of us should choose to make our commitment. By God's grace, I don't S-abuse Black females. Conclusion. Sexual safekeeping for sisters and brothers to God's glory. Be sure to remind yourself, brothers also need sexual protection from the social and legal consequences of sexually related violations and trauma. The current climate of S-abuse accusations and allegations can become an unfriendly and challenging sexual atmosphere for any sexually well-meaning African American brother. When relating to a sister or to any female in the society, you need to construct appropriate sexual offenses and defenses to protect yourself. So affirm, I don't S-abuse Black females. Make this spiritual commitment for yourself as a brother of sexual integrity, then turn this statement into a fortress for your protection. Make your sexual affirmation to guard yourself from becoming another sexual statistic for committing criminal sexual behavior. Too many Black males have legal issues or already inhabit the American prison system. You don't need to add yourself to those depressing and defeating numbers. Beware, some law enforcement agencies already unfairly profile Black males, and some persons and employers, professional or otherwise, are already looking for a good excuse to disrupt your employment and to curtail your social advancement. Charges of S-abuse, harassment, or assault could be lurking around the next corner of your life. So, guard yourself. Keep all your sexual relations safe. Affirm the sexual safekeeping and well-being of females in your life. Make it for protecting the sisters from all forms of S-abuse that appear along the broad spectrum of everything from sexually unspiritual conversation to sexually illegal criminal conduct. Make your spiritual commitment for the sexual health and healing of misused and violated Black women, female adolescents, and young girls. Make it for their overall progress as mothers and future mothers of our African American people, of our homes, and of our communities. Make your sexual commitment for your wife, your date, your daughters, your sisters, your aunts, your nieces, your female cousins, your stepgirls, your female colleagues, for all your sisters. In American society, all Black females need a haven. As Black brothers, we divinely stand in spiritual, cultural, and sexual solidarity with our sisters, our female friends of African descent. Whether our sisters have been or are being S-abused, are at risk of S-abuse, or are showing themselves to be strong defenders of Black females from male domination and sexual violation, as men in Christ, we brothers stand in solidarity with our sisters in their ongoing struggle to be sexually safe and secure as Black females. Make your spiritual commitment to sexually protect Black females for God's glory. The God we serve is the creator of humanity and the father of female sexuality. He is a compassionate and faithful protector. Our God is the vindicator of sexually victimized women, and he is their deliverer from sexual desecration, abuse, oppression, and destructive experience. Jesus, our God, is certainly our Redeemer, for he freely offers redemptive deliverance from the sins of S-abuse. His grace and strength grant spiritual transformation for every truly repentant male S-abuser. The God we serve certainly bestows redemptive love and limitless power upon every sexually violated female, upon all who would be divine favor, become an overcoming survivor of the tragedy of S-abuse. This God, our Lord, deserves all the praise. To God be the glory. May the peace of Christ be with you. And that's the end of the book. That's it. Yeah, it's not that long of a book. I think in total, I don't know. It's probably a little less than 100 pages. But okay, hold on. Sorry. From that conclusion, from the few things that were just discussed, I think the things that stood out to me the most is, first, it's important for us as men to understand that we need to guard our sexuality as well. And I find that might be counterintuitive to the culture that we live in, because, the idea that's very common in, I guess, manosphere or red pill spaces is that men can have lots of partners and their value or their worth doesn't get defiled. But if women have a certain amount of bodies, then their value goes down. I don't believe that. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll say this, at the end of the day, how many people you sleep with doesn't really matter. If you're interested in somebody and you want to have a relationship with them, regardless of their past, if they're committed and faithful to you, all right. Unless you have to discuss things about like health related stuff, that's a conversation, but that isn't just because somebody's had partners before you or many partners in general, doesn't mean that their inherent value or worth has gone down. But I do think in that conversation, it's important for us to understand that our sexuality and our value also matters. Just as much as women should be seen as precious, we need to see ourselves as precious too. And it's very toxic to think that as men, it's okay for us to just follow like animalistic desires and things like that. That's just the way men are. Like we have to go out. We can't be monogamous. We have to do these things. Like we really have to stop looking at ourselves like brute beasts. Like really, and thinking that we are so low level of creatures of people that we can't have standards and that we can't in essence violate ourselves with this kind of behavior. We have to see that we have value too, that women have value, and then that value should be honored both ways. You need to protect and guard yourself. Don't just be like defiling yourself. In the scriptures it talks about um adulterers, but it also describes particularly men as whoremongers, guys who just freeloading, going around smashing anything they see. That's not good. That is not a good standard to live by. But we live in a culture that encourages whoremongerdom. Like it's okay to be really a male hoe. But no, it's not good. A lot of guys toss out the 304 kind of thing, but they don't look at that their behavior is doing that to themselves. You're devaluing yourself. You're, you know, messing up yourself too. So I would say from that conclusion, that's something that we have to keep in mind. Like you have to have standards for yourself. You need to understand that you're valuable too, that your sexuality is precious too, and that you don't need to just be slinging it everywhere. Like stop. Like of course, like doing that is bad for yourself, but also bad for your community and the women, the people that you're relating to. So you definitely need to like protect ourselves. Um, Another thing that came to mind, uh, kind of like his warning about guarding ourselves and our behavior, is to be mindful that like if you are acting willy nilly, if you are living around like a whoremonger as a man, it will mess you up. It will mess you up. That stuff will come and bite you in the butt. Like I was working at a place, and a guy had recently come on staff or whatever, and he was training, going through the process or whatever. But he wasn't here that long until he got let go because he was accused of sexual harassment. Like this stuff isn't something to play with. And I know there's some guys who believe, well, we need to go back to like the good old days or whatever. It's like, no, there's just a higher standard being set that we need to respect and to honor. And again, it starts with respecting ourselves. You can't just be going around again slinging it everywhere, even if that is in like your coarse language and stuff like that. Like, no, we need a standard, and a standard is being set, whether it's through books like this or whether it's your job saying you're fired because because you're talking to women this way, because you're treating like this, like people don't want to be around you. Like, no, we got to start thinking differently and approaching things differently because it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Just because things happened in the past doesn't mean we're trying to progress to something better. And part of that progression is that we have to stop acting like brute beasts. We have to understand that we have to respect our sisters, we have to respect each other, and we need to respect ourselves. And the last thing I think came to mind was, hold on, let me see if I remember. I should have wrote this stuff down. I think I lost it. Dang. Well, yeah, I lost it. I should have wrote it down. Anyways, thank you all for joining me for another reading with Jam and finishing this book. I really, really appreciate it. I really hope that more people read this or listen to it, particularly our brothers. So if you know anybody, any Black men, share this with them. I guess I should put together a playlist so they can hear this book, because it's important. I think it's very, very important, because we need to have a standard set in our community so things can be changed and things can be improved. Because right now I feel like we're living real lawless, and that's not good for us as men, and it's not good for our sisters. It's not. But thank you all again for joining me. I think I'm going to have to wait till next year to start the next book. But until then, please let me know if you watch this. Please let me know in the comment section and I think I might make a poll, if it will be better for me to, while I'm reading, make commentary, or do as I've been doing. So read the whole chapter and then stop and make some commentaries. Let me know which one do you think would be better as I'm doing these reading with jams. Should I read and make commentary, or should I finish the chapter and then make commentary after? So like commenting while reading, or commenting after reading the thing. Y'all let me know. Again, thank you all for joining me for Reading with Jam. Thank you for coming to the Beneficial Black Man channel. I appreciate you a lot. Hope you all, dang, it's only Tuesday. I can't even say enjoy the weekend, but have a great week. Have a great week. Stay safe. Protect your mental. Find time for an emotional release valve and continue to strive to become beneficial. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.